going on, guys? Tom Bailey here, representing Strongside Fitness. Today I'm going to be showing you an ab workout. So there's three main things to consider when you're training the abdominal muscles. So you want to train like the rectus abdominis, which is the abs that you see on the top. You want to exercise the external obliques as well. So that's like the finger muscles here, which tie into your serratus, which is the muscle there, and like the V-cut at the bottom as well. And you also want to train like the bottom portion of the lower abdominals as well, because often there's a lot of people that do crunches and stuff, but they don't exercise that bottom portion of the lower abdominals to really get that full defined ab package. So I'm going to show you a variation of exercises. Choose them as you please. You can do simply upper abs, lower abs, or you can do a full ab circuit, whichever one works best for you. So stay tuned. Let's get it. This is how not to train abs 101. Exercise number one is going to be Rocky sit-ups. So you can, if you've got like an actual Rocky sit-up machine that's got pads on it and things, then I suggest using that. If you don't, then try and use some bars like this. I'm just going to have to lock my legs in to do it. If you don't have that, then just start with some standard sit-ups. This one's a little bit better because it really stresses like your entire abdominal region. Really great warm-up and good to start your ab workout with. So the reason I prefer doing Rocky sit-ups is because there's constant stress on the abs all the way from the very bottom of the movement to the top, because you're fighting against gravity the whole time. So usually if you're just doing a sit-up, when you get to 90 degrees, then gravity's just pulling like straight down and there's no tension against your abs unless you're doing like a weighted crunch or something like that. So if you're not going to do Rocky sit-ups for a starting exercise, then I'd suggest at least 40-50 reps on regular sit-ups or 10 to 20 reps with a weighted plate to add resistance. So the reason I prefer doing that exercise is because you get a full stretch all the way down to the bottom and right to the top as well, so there's constant tension on the abs. I'm going to do 3 sets of this. Moving on to the next exercise. Because this exercise does stress the abs quite a lot, I find it's the perfect warm-up. So if I do this one first, any other exercise that I move into after this, I just feel the contraction a lot better, and it's just a really good one to start with. Obviously, try and be careful. I've put a mat under here just in case I did slip out, but you should be fine, so just take care with it. Exercise number 2 is a weighted ab crunch. So I'm just using the lat pull down machine and getting like a nice close grip and using like this bit of my forearms just to pinch my head, and that's adding like 30 kilograms to my body weight. So your abs are just like any other muscle. If you want to make them bigger, so if you've got them like a little bit toned but you want them to stick out a little bit more, you need to train it with weight to get like them to stick out almost like 3D. So the abs are just like any other muscle. You need to stress them with weight in order to make them bigger. So don't go ridiculously heavy because you will create like quite a blocky midsection. You want to just keep it nice and chiseled. So stick to 12 to 15 reps, progressive overload with different weights, just to add a little bit more thickness to your abs, just so that they're defined year round. So you'll see here from this side angle, all I'm doing is flexing my trunk. Everything else in my body is staying as it is. I'm just using the contraction of my abs to bring down my upper body, keeping that squeeze and crunching right at the very bottom. So the contraction of this exercise you're going to feel right at the very top of the abs at the start of the movement. But when you're crunching down, you want to feel it right down into where the lower abs connect onto the pubic bone, which is like the very lower portion of the abdominal region. You can also do this exercise with different attachments. Just find out which one works best for you. I saw this exercise a couple of years ago and decided to give it a try, and this one worked much better for me than doing a rope crunch, which is another one of the attachments that you can use to add some weighted resistance to your ab workouts. A slight variation on this exercise as well. If you were to bring one leg forward and twist your body 45 degrees, then you can individually hit the obliques from this angle as well. The next exercise is a lying leg raise, and the explanation for this one is coming up right now. When training lower abs, you want to make sure that you're tucking your tailbone up. That's really going to engage your lower abs. If you're just bringing your legs up and down, then you're not going to get anything out of it, you're just wasting your time. So make sure you're tucking your tailbone underneath to really engage the lower abs. Hold that squeeze at the top of the movement, and then bring it back down slowly. So as I mentioned there, I just want to make sure I'm tucking my tailbone at the very top of the movement, contracting my lower abs as much as possible, and then lowering it back down slowly. If you're advanced, you can turn this into a dragonfly, which is bring the legs up to the very top of the movement, extending them so they're straight, and then slowly lowering your entire body down to the bottom of the movement. This exercise is called a frog kick, and it's just placing a dumbbell between your feet and then tucking your legs up towards your chest and crunching your upper body down towards your legs at the same time. Another great exercise for the lower abs and lower obliques as well. So this next exercise is a weighted leg raise, and this is quite an advanced exercise, but you want to make sure when you're doing this that you're at least tucking your tailbone a little bit, because you can see here I'm not exaggerating the tailbone tuck as much as I was when I was doing the lying leg raises, but the weighted resistance keeps a constant flexion on my lower abs. So yes, you do need to tuck your tailbone to hit the lower abs, but when I'm doing this exercise I'm still feeling a burn in my lower abs regardless. So it's a little exception to the rule, but just find out what works best for you. This exercise is going to work the external obliques, which are the muscles that come down the sides. So all you're doing is a twisting motion from left to right. You can do like a regular sit-up where you come up and then do a twist, and then come back. Or if you want, you can hold this position at like a 45-degree angle and then do the twists like that. The harder it is, the further you come back, the harder the exercise gets. So if you're sat upright, then you're not really going to be working your obliques, so come down a little bit just so you've got some flexion in your abs, and then do the twists. The obliques are a muscle group that I prefer to do with high reps and lower weight, just because I'd rather not get those muscles too big, because if you do have really big obliques then it can almost look like you've got love handles. So I know Arnold back in the day used to do just seated twists with a broom handle, and the high volume would develop his obliques, but not to the point where he had a huge blocky midsection. So still keeping the midsection nice and cut just to maintain that V-taper and keeping the aesthetic physique overall. This lying side crunch is also another exercise, and you can see me poking myself in the obliques just to ensure that I'm working that upper portion of the oblique muscle where they tie into the serratus. This lying ab twist exercise is also for the obliques, but again, keeping it higher reps. I was pretty exhausted by this point and just trying to burn out the rest of my abs. So this is working the rectus abdominis on the concentric portion of the muscle, and then the obliques on the twist.
This is Samantha's announcement. Page active is now closed. All remaining members make their way to the exit. Thank you.
I wish I trained in the dark. Final exercise. You want to stand perpendicular to the machine. So the machine's coming this way, you're going to face this way. You're going to grab the handle, and all you're going to do is twist your torso to the end of the movement. So if you imagine like you're hitting like a rounder's bat or a baseball bat, you're just going to emulate that movement, twist, really force the contraction through your obliques, maybe get 10 to 15 reps, increasing the weight each set, and then turn and do the other side. For a slight variation, you can bring it from low to high as well, and you can also do it from high to low, just to hit the obliques from slightly different angles.